Hey, welcome back to Soul Whispers Tarot. I'm Karen. So I'm here again with another pick a card reading, and this reading is, what does this person want to happen between you? What are their deepest desires in regards to your connection moving forward? So in today's reading, we'll be looking at the tarot cards, the oracle cards, and we're going to be pulling messages out of the bag as well. So we have 4 sets of cards. Set of cards number 1 is the yellow crystal and the letter. Set of cards number 2 is the green crystal and the telephone. Set of cards number 3 is the pink crystal and the ring. And set of cards number 4 is the blue crystal and the heart. But before we get into the reading, I would like to mention a really powerful way to get into the right vibration to attract true divine love. You know, someone that's truly there for you, someone who isn't afraid to express their feelings, someone that you're on the same page with, where it's true, deep, divine love, your true soulmate connection. So I recommend my meditation, which is called I Am Loved, I Receive Love, because that's such a powerful meditation that really helps you to heal any wounds of abandonment and rejection that you may have experienced throughout your life. Because often when we experience that kind of pain, subconsciously we create stories which blame ourselves. We think someone rejected us because we're not good enough, or they think we're not good enough. We subconsciously give away our personal power, and we believe that our worthiness is dependent on other people's opinions of us, or how they react to us or don't react, you know, what they do and what they don't do kind of thing. We give that power away. So in the I Am Loved, I Receive Love, I really help you to take back your personal power. I really help you to rewrite those limiting stories about that seeming rejection from the past, and I help you to see yourself through your soul family's eyes, where they love you unconditionally. They've always known that you're worthy, and they always know that you will be worthy no matter what, and they're just really hoping that you know that about yourself, because whatever we believe about ourselves within is what we manifest on the outside, and whatever we believe about relationships is what we manifest on the outside in terms of our relationships that come into our life. And so the I Am Loved, I Receive Love, I really help you to rewrite those stories in a positive way, where you really know that past experiences happened to help you awaken more, and that it was never truly personal. It was all a lesson, it was all a soul contract that your soul agreed upon to help you deepen your understanding of yourself and understanding your worthiness. You know, often we go through difficult relationships or people who aren't truly there for us. We can often overgive to people and become a martyr and try to prove our worthiness, prove that we're lovable enough and all things like that. And that really gets us on the wrong track, because we start focusing on other people's needs and we forget our own. We stop honoring our own needs. So the meditation can really help transform your energy, transform your belief system. So whatever you believe is what you receive. I will help you restore faith in love, restore self-love, know your worth, know you deserve the best. And that can really, really powerfully start you on the track of attracting the right person for you, or the right relationship, the right relationship dynamic that you're really searching for and that you really deserve. So that's called I Am Loved, I Receive Love, and all the details for that are below this video in the description box, so please check that out. Okay, so now let's get into the reading. So welcome to set of cards number 1. You've chosen the yellow crystal and the letter card. So let's see what this person wants to happen between you both. So this person feels as though they definitely want things to progress between you. They want a deeper commitment. They want to take a leap of faith. They want a brand new beginning within your connection. There is a sense that this person has felt confused in the past, or fearful when it comes to opening up, being vulnerable and taking that risk. And so they had a comfort zone that they were afraid to release and let go of in the past. A lot of confusion about, is this relationship right for me? Are we compatible? Is it going to work out? Isn't it going to work out? So I feel like there has been some separation between you with the 8 of Cups. It's like they want the 10 of Pentacles. They want the happy family. They want to be there for you. They want the commitment. They want to be a good provider. But it's like they've had to walk away at this time in order to find clarity within themselves or healing. There may be karmic contracts that this person needs to go through, and maybe you need to go through as individuals before you're brought back together. And I feel like this person has had a lot of epiphanies during this separation. They're trying to stay optimistic about the chances of your connection reconciling. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So this person is trying to stay optimistic. They may feel that they took you or the connection for granted in the past. They may have some regrets about that. Maybe there was an issue where you were the right person, but it was the wrong time in the past. And so you were compatible, but it's like you were going in different directions. And maybe you kept crossing paths with this person and they were like, It really got them thinking, why do we keep bumping into each other? Why do our paths keep crossing? This person I'm sensing at this time, they want you to be in alignment. Like I said, they feel like you're the right person. I feel that like they've discovered that. Maybe there was a lot of complications in the past, so it created a lot of doubts within them about how compatible you were together, or whether you were right for each other, whether you truly were soulmates. You know, this person had a lot of doubts in the past, but now I feel as though they realize through that separation that it is part of their life purpose to be with you, and that you've brought a lot of meaning to them. They may have become aware of their life purpose through this heart awakening that they've experienced through meeting you. And so now they're hoping that you can come into alignment, because there may be karma that needs to be healed individually, or both of you reaching self-love or something like that, or both of you awakening further, raising your vibration so that you naturally come into alignment with each other, because you are mirrors of each other. So maybe lessons on both sides, because if we don't feel good enough, if we aren't in the love vibration, the self-love vibration, then our energy blocks us from being able to give and receive love, or have a healthy relationship with ourselves and with someone else. And so I feel that's what's been going on and creating confusion. You may have worried that this person wasn't as invested or didn't love you as much as you love them, but Spirit is saying they felt the exact same way. They've had fears that they feel so much more for you than what you truly feel for them. They may have had trust issues and reservations, because they may have felt as though you may be in love with their potential rather than who they truly are. Something like that has created a fear or a doubt, maybe them feeling like it was too good to be true. And so they were testing the waters, but they were keeping their guard up. They were afraid to allow themselves to need you too much, just in case it turned out to be an illusion and it wasn't true love, or you weren't their real soulmate. And so this person has been in resistance in the past, but I feel like that resistance became such a heavy burden on them. They couldn't see clearly. They couldn't see where they were going when they were holding on to all their fears, their doubts, fears about coming out of the comfort zone. So right now it's like they're going inwards. They're doing that shadow work. They're seeing more and more of the truth. Their heart is awakening much more. And they're hoping that they can heal themselves and overcome their insecurities so that they can love themselves and be in a good vibration, so that they can be in alignment with you. And they're hoping that you're healing yourself as well. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So I feel like this person's been talking about your connection a lot with their friends. It's almost like they've been withholding like their emotions and talking to you, but they've been talking non-stop to their friends. Is what I'm feeling about you, because it's like they can't stop thinking about you, therefore they can't stop talking about you, which seems quite ironic, because I feel like you're really wanting them to talk to you, but their fears are holding them back. I feel like this person worries a lot about what you think of them, to the point where it's very detrimental and a huge block in them coming forward. Ask for and accept support from others. I feel as though this person has struggled to ask for your support or be open and vulnerable. They're worried that they're going to come across as weak if they don't come across as being totally capable on their own, basically. So the Lovers and the Nine of Cups, they want to be with you. They do realize now that this is a divine connection. They realize that spirit, angels, your soul families, always been watching over your connection, always been helping you both to become naked and vulnerable with each other and come back into alignment. They see you as their dream come true. They're really hoping and wishing and praying that, like I said, you can come back into harmony, that your paths are going to cross again. They're really missing you. And I feel like they will be taking action, because we have the Knight of Wands clarified by the King of Swords. So they're feeling a lot of passion. They're wanting to race in. They're wanting to communicate their truth. They know that they have to be open, vulnerable, authentic, their true self with you. They know they have to be transparent. But I feel like this is the one thing that they've struggled to do, because of their own insecurities, because of them not feeling good enough within themselves, and therefore it's all their own self-rejection. But it's like in their mind they're convinced that it's you rejecting them, or you're going to reject them. So it's like they're shooting themselves in the foot, or they may be preempting things, like they're so afraid of rejection that they're not coming forward, and them not coming forward is what is making you want to, or some of you reject them, as in maybe some of you had to walk away with that Eight of Cups. And they realize that it's their defensiveness, the walls that they have up, that are getting in the way. Some of them, they may have been tempted in the past by someone else, and it's because subconsciously it felt easier to sort of run away. It felt easier to be with someone else when they weren't as afraid of being open and vulnerable. You know, they weren't as afraid of that other connection falling apart, because the love isn't as intense, or they haven't based their sense of self-worth on this other person. But when it comes to you, I really feel as though they have based their opinion of themselves based on your opinion of them. They've given away their personal power. They need to take back their personal power and really truly realize that their self-worth isn't determined about what you think of them. So let's look into these messages in here about what do they want to happen between you. Trying to look strong. Yeah. that goes really well with what I was just saying. They're trying to appear completely capable on their own. They have this belief that if they ask for your help or your support, or if they're open and vulnerable and love you too much, then they're going to appear weak. So they're trying to appear strong to attract you or keep you attracted to them, but ironically, you're seeing it as a strength if they would just open up and be vulnerable. I feel like this person is afraid of you having power over them, afraid of having the upper hand in case you totally crush them and totally like reject them or something like that, even though that may seem ridiculous to you. That's like a big subconscious fear for them. What do they want to happen? Oh, one fell out. Leap of faith. Wow. And the first card is the Fool. So they want to take a leap of faith. They want to take a risk. Let your friends help you. That is over. So they could be asking their friends about how can they take that leap of faith? How can they reach out? How can they communicate their love to you? How can they make things happen? They definitely want to take that leap of faith. And it's really good that the final tarot cards are about movement and communication and authenticity. Yeah. Shaking, sweaty, stuttering. So this person feels extremely nervous in your presence. They may literally shake or sweat or stutter. And so that's why I feel like they've tried to appear strong, because maybe they feel humiliated. Maybe in your presence when they're really, really nervous and it's really showing, they feel that you will have the upper hand. If you notice that, they're afraid of you knowing just how affected they feel by you, how much they need you, how much they want you. Maybe they feel as though you could have anyone, kind of thing. So maybe they feel, for some of you, they feel as though you're just going to see them as someone else who's like fallen for you or something like that. And they don't want to be just another number. They don't want to be just someone else like everyone else in the queue or something like that. And so maybe they're trying to hold back because they're trying to make you notice them. I don't know if you've ever experienced that yourself, where someone's like really attractive and has a lot of people interested in them, and you don't want to be just one of these other people that are interested in their eyes, and you want to stand out. And so maybe you're tempted to sort of make out you don't have feelings, make out like you haven't fallen under their spell, and maybe hoping that's going to intrigue the other person as to why you haven't. I feel like that may be what's going on with some of these people. For set of cards number 1. What does this person want to happen between you both? Okay, disheartened. This person felt disheartened because there was a lot of complications. So if they did go a different way, if they went with someone else or just on a different path, it is because they felt disheartened. Maybe they felt like these blocks were insurmountable, or that maybe they felt like things were going in circles. One more message. You know, and when we feel like our dreams aren't going to come true, or what we want isn't going to happen, sometimes we can talk ourselves out of it and convince ourselves we don't want that thing or that person anymore anyway, and that's subconsciously our way of trying to protect ourselves from feeling that heartbreak. The longing is too painful. So yeah, they're really longing for you at this time. It is feeling painful, but it is what's creating this intense desire to come forward now and express their truth, so that they can overcome all these fears, you know, take that leap of faith, finally make things happen, finally reach out, finally get things off the ground. So please check out my meditation, which is called I Am Loved, I Receive Love. It's really powerful about healing any of your wounds to do with abandonment and rejection. You know, sometimes we can subconsciously attract emotionally unavailable people, or we attract a dynamic where things aren't fully getting off the ground because deep down we have this belief that we're unworthy, or we're not good enough, or the universe is punishing us, or we are subconsciously giving away our personal power and believing our worth is determined by the other person's reactions towards us, what they do or what they don't do. So I really help you to heal that. I really help you to take back that personal power, to realize that it's never really a true rejection. It's about life lessons. We create these soul contracts in order to trigger these wounds within us, so they come up from our subconscious into our conscious awareness, so we can then work through, heal and release those wounds that keep us blocked. Because, you know, whatever we believe is what we receive. So if we believe we're not good enough, if we believe we're being rejected, then that is what we keep manifesting in a cycle. And it can get stuck in that loop. I feel like this is partly why this person got disheartened, because these energetic blocks or these limiting beliefs were manifesting in this connection and causing things to go in circles and not being able to align. And, you know, we need faith, we need self-love, we need to know that we deserve the best and that we're going to receive the best, and that the universe is trying to help us to receive the love that we deserve, in order for us to be able to manifest that, in order for us to let go of the reins of control and trying to micromanage everything, because that just causes us to get in our own way. That causes us to get stuck in fear, and the fear is that it's not going to happen, and therefore, you know, we believe that, and therefore it prevents the love from happening at that time. So the meditation, I am loved, I receive love, can really help you to see yourself through the eyes of your soul family, which is deep, unconditional love, self-love, to the point of, you know, you raise your vibration so much. You believe that you deserve the best, and therefore that is what you receive. You receive the relationship that you truly deserve. You receive that profound inner peace that reflects back to you. So potentially it could heal this relationship, this dynamic, if that is part of your soul contract. But if not, you know, if you are destined to be with someone else, if it is your soul contract to be with a different soulmate, then it will help you to get into the right vibration to be able to release this person with complete peace of mind and peace in your heart, and be able to attract the person that is truly for you. So that is called I Am Loved, I Receive Love. Please check that out. All the details are below this video in the description box. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading, which at this time is about every other day. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. So this is set of cards number 2, and you've chosen the green crystal and the telephone. So let's look into what this person wants to happen between you. Okay, so this person sees you as their soulmate, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So they see you as the one for them. They're really trying to manifest or make this connection happen. They may be working on themselves behind the scenes. They may be trying to heal themselves. There's the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Interestingly, the Queen of Swords is shown as crying in this deck, which is the Mermaid Tarot. So this person, they want to come forward with an offer. They want to come forward with an apology. They want to express their truth to you. They want to express the truth of their feelings. I feel like this person is repressing their feminine aspect because, you know, we all have the divine masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. I feel like this person has been conditioned to try and be very, very like masculine. But deep down, I feel like they're actually very feminine. They have these feminine qualities. They're very empathic. They're highly sensitive. They feel very deeply. They have these goals and dreams, and their priority in life is love and happy relationships. But I feel as though throughout their life, they've been conditioned to see that as a weakness. You know, if this person is a man, they feel that that's a weakness. You know, they could be female and also been taught that, you know, that it's not a strength to be too emotional or too emotionally vulnerable. So this person is highly sensitive, very empathic, very emotional, but they may have even been brought up in a family where emotions weren't talked about. Emotions were a taboo subject. Emotions were highly repressed. So something from their early years has caused them to feel like they have to repress their emotions and pretend they don't have those emotions, because they would have been rejected if they showed those emotions. So that's highly affecting this connection that they have with you. It's really suppressing them from openly communicating their truth. They're not allowing their emotions to flow honestly. They may have even had tears. They may be crying. They may be really upset because they struggle so much to be that vulnerable. Like they were never given healthy role models to help support them in expressing their emotions and feeling safe in doing so. Spirit is saying that ironically, this person in their early romantic life did express their feelings. They wore their heart on their sleeve and they were rejected for that, or they were used and abused or abandoned or manipulated, or someone or certain people saw their love, their kindness as a weakness and took advantage of them, took power in their connections, in their relationships, and so that almost reaffirmed their fears. But it's ironic because it's like they believed from their early conditioning that they would be rejected when revealing their emotions, and that's kind of what they manifested. You know, I'm not saying it's their fault because we all go through these kinds of things, but it's like they manifested an unhealthy relationship or several unhealthy relationships in their earlier years, which were heavily a reflection of how they felt with their own family or their own upbringing, that they would be rejected for being their true self, wearing their heart on their sleeve, expressing their emotions, basically being vulnerable. And so that has really caused this person to be very fearful about who they reveal their true self to. And ironically, because they feel such a huge connection, such deep love, because they feel this soulmate energy between you both, ironically, that is what causes them to be even more fearful, because they've invested their heart in you. And they're very worried about whether you might reject them. They're very worried about what you think and feel about them. So they've always been on edge. They've always been on guard, just in case, you know, they feel any kind of indication that you might possibly reject them. So judgment and the Five of Cups. They're afraid, of your judgment of them. They're afraid because you see through their walls, you see through their masks. And in a way, they love that because they feel that this is a soul calling. You're calling them into their truth. You're challenging them to step into their authentic self. And that feels liberating, but it also feels extremely scary. It really, really challenges them to come out of their comfort zone. But they're very worried, like if they do that, is the rug going to be pulled from beneath their feet? This person is focusing on the possible spilt milk, things that could go wrong, but they're not fully trusting that there's these 2 cups here that are still upright. That's the happy, balanced relationship. There's so much potential here where you could have that amazing relationship together, but they're so focused on what could go wrong, or maybe what has gone wrong for them in the past. This could be, pessimistic thinking rather than optimistic thinking. It's really getting in their way. They're afraid of loss. They're afraid of things not working out. They're afraid of that rejection. So I feel like they would believe it's their fault. They would blame themselves, or they would believe that the universe is rejecting them. It's a lot of subconscious wounds playing out here. This person has got used to feeling lonely and isolated. They've kind of felt comfortable in that isolation because they feel like no one can hurt them if they keep themselves to themselves. But, they're yearning so much to be with you, because they see you as the one who truly sees them for who they truly are. And they love that, but it scares the hell out of them as well. They don't know what to do with that. They don't know how to cope with feeling that nervous or apprehensive that things could possibly fall apart if they allowed themselves to open up and take that risk. So there's a Chariot and a Hierophant. In their heart, this person, they truly do want movement forward. They want your connection to deepen, the commitment to deepen. The Hierophant, this is the marriage card, or the commitment. They feel this deep spiritual aspect of your relationship. And they want to commit, and they are committing to the spiritual side. It may have taken them a while to be able to feel what their intuition was telling them, because there was so much in their head, so much in their fears, so much in their worry about what do you think of them, that was clouding their judgment from being able to see the truth. But they have that Judgment card, which is a spiritual awakening. The Hierophant is a spiritual commitment, committing to the divine, committing to the divine path of your connection. This person needs to embrace their inner feminine in order to be able to embrace the outer feminine, which is you. So they're in denial of that feminine aspect within themselves, or they keep it hidden. That's what I'm feeling. It's almost as though they feel embarrassed, like in truth they're very much the feminine energy, but they've incarnated into a man, let's just say, with this deep feminine aspect, and maybe they were even bullied about that in the past or something like that, ridiculed for being too emotional, something like that. So their biggest fear is that ridicule, that rejection, and because they feel that you are the one for them, the love is so deep, the connection is so deep, they're fearful of that rejection even more when it comes to you. And that's a subconscious thing, but they're really wanting for you to be able to heal your relationship. They're wanting to move out of the stormy waters into the calmer future. This is healing moving forward together. They're really trying to steer that boat. Look, the King of Wands even has what's the word? It's gone out of my head. But yeah, they feel all this passion. They're really trying to become confident. They're really trying to, the awe, that's the word. They're really trying to step into their personal power where they're no longer thrown off, you know, by how you could potentially think of them. I feel like this person gets extremely thrown off. Like their insecurities like throw them around, toss them around like in that ocean, in like stormy waters, stormy emotions, jumping to negative conclusions. Maybe it can cause this person to lash out or run away. You know, they're not stable, they're not secure, they don't stay secure within their own opinion of themselves, that they worry too much about what you think of them or other people's opinions of them. They know that they need to heal and change that. Knight of Pentacles. They want to work towards your future. They're slowly but surely planting the seeds. This person is slow to move forward, but the Four of Pentacles, it's saying they're holding on to your connection. They're trying to build things up, and they're afraid of losing what you already have or what you've already built up together. And so they're very cautiously moving forward. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So they feel so much passionate romantic feelings for you at this time. What they're wanting you. They see you as a sacred woman. The Garden. This is all about the growth. This is all about the beauty, the abundance. This is what they're wanting. They're wanting to manifest all this growth and abundance with you. They may like spending time in nature, or you may like spending time in nature. So I feel like they're thinking and fantasizing about you, being with you in nature. So let's look into these messages in the bag as well. What do they want to happen between you both? Reach out. This person wants to reach out, or they may be wanting you to reach out. I'm not saying that you should reach out necessarily. You know, listen to your own intuition. Everyone's situations are going to be different, but they're wanting this communication. They're wanting for you to get closer again, or closer than ever before. They're wanting that emotional intimacy and physical intimacy as well, but they're wanting that closeness. Whoops. They feel lost without you, and one just fell to the ground. Scared. They're feeling scared of reaching out. They're feeling scared of losing you and being lost without you. They're scared of these romantic feelings because they're the most intense feelings of love that they've ever felt before, and therefore the risk of rejection or the risk of being heartbroken is even more intense. And so this is kind of like that catch-22 situation. They're scared of not being with you, but then they're scared at the same time of reaching out and then possibly you rejecting them or it not working out. They're scared that you're getting impatient and that you can't, you know, wait around for them forever. A lot of fear within this person. We belong together. So yeah, they feel that you are their soulmate. They want to be together. They're calling you in. Prayers, affirmations, visualizations, you know, they may even be praying to the universe. They just want you to be together without the fear, without the complications. Guarded, yeah. And this is over the sacred woman, so it could be this is mirroring. Maybe you're guarded in some ways without realizing it. But also they're feeling very intimidated because you are the sacred woman. You are seeing through their masks, their walls. You're very wise, very powerful energy about you. But they definitely want to be with you. They want to be together. They want to overcome the fears. So please check out my meditation, which is called I Am Loved, I Receive Love. It's a really powerful healing meditation that can really get you in the vibration of deep self-love. You know, if you're feeling rejected or abandoned by this person, it can really help heal those wounds as well. Often we subconsciously manifest these wounds to replay or play out in new relationships or in our current relationships, because it's part of our soul contract to have those wounds triggered up in order to bring them into our conscious awareness through, you know, they're stuck in the subconscious, but we need them to come up into our conscious awareness so we can release and heal and purge them. So that is why none of this is personal. If you are feeling rejected, it's part of the soul contract. And in the meditation, I really help you to realize that. I really help you to go back and look at times when you did feel rejected and really heartbroken. And I get you to see like the limiting beliefs or the limiting stories that you attached to those experiences, which were very self-blaming. And I really help you to change that story, to realize that it wasn't personal, that it's part of the soul contract. It's just part of your healing. It's an opportunity for growth. And I really help you to see yourself through your soul family's eyes of unconditional love. They always know that you are worthy and that you always have been, that you always will be. They're trying to help you to reach the love and have the love that you truly deserve within and without. So I really help you to see yourself through their eyes, and it creates a major transformation so that you are in that love vibration, because whatever vibration we are in is what we manifest on the outside as well, due to the law of attraction. So that the outside mirrors who we are or our energy on the inside. So I really help you to get into that right vibration. So this can potentially help you to heal this connection if it is part of your soul contract, to end up with this person in a romantic relationship. If not, if you are destined to be with someone else, it will help you become that deep inner peace, that deep inner self-love, in order to attract the person who is destined for you, the person who is going to mirror back to you everything that you truly deserve. So that is called I Am Loved, I Receive Love. Please check that out. All the details are below this video in the description box. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications. That will notify you every time I release a new reading, which is about every other day. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. So welcome to set of cards number 3. You've chosen the pink crystal and the ring. So let's look into the cards to see what this person wants to happen between you both. Okay, so this person sees you as their soulmate. They see that you've had struggles in your connection, but you're both like these butterflies. You've been in the cocoon. And as we know, butterflies need to struggle in that cocoon in order to strengthen their wings so that they can spread their wings and truly fly, and when they come out of that cocoon. So they recognize the difficulties, the complications within your connection, but they're really seeing that as strengthening you both as individuals so that you can both rise up when the time is right and come into alignment with each other. They really want to spread their wings, be happy, have this intimate, happy relationship where you're both open and fearless. You know, you're both courageous enough to truly express your feelings to each other. So they're definitely wanting that relationship with you. They have this deep fear, though, that it's unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So I feel like that is their biggest fear. That's what's been holding them back from making the effort and reaching out. Basically, a fear of rejection. Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. So this person, they do feel this deep spiritual aspect of your connection. They feel this intuition. They feel like the universe has been giving them signs and signals and pushing them forward at times and guiding them to reach out and express their truth. But it's like their biggest fears were getting in the way of that. They were second guessing themselves, a fear of being that vulnerable in case there was a tower moment. So there's the Four of Cups and the Seven of Wands in reverse. So this person realizes that they missed out on an opportunity because they were too focused on pessimistic thinking rather than having faith and taking a leap of faith and taking a risk. They know that their defenses pushed you away, their doubts or their trust issues pushed you away, or their walls, their masks that they were wearing. So this person was trying to appear stronger than what they really felt. They may have felt embarrassed to be emotionally all over the place when it comes to your connection. So they may have put on a brave face or a poker face and tried to hide their feelings, some of them. But this person, they may have taken your connection for granted in the past, and that's why they missed out on this opportunity as well. It's like they feared so much being open and vulnerable because of a fear of rejection. They didn't feel good enough. They had a lot of insecurity. So it's like subconsciously their ego tried to protect them by running away or convincing them that you're not the right person for them, or maybe they would be happier with someone else or happier on a different path if they walked away from you. That was the subconscious trying to pretend to themselves that they don't want this love, that they don't want this relationship anyway, you know, because have you ever experienced that yourself when you really want something or you really want someone and you feel like it's not going to happen, or you feel like your dreams, your goals, your aspirations aren't going to come true. So then you start like saying to yourself, oh, I don't think I really want that now anyway. And then you kind of bury your head in the sand or focus on other things or other people. And it's a subconscious way of trying to avoid that heartbreak or disappointment of potentially not having the thing that you truly want. This person felt as though there was a lot of healing that needed to be done. They felt like there was a lot of complications because a lot of fear, a lot of stuff was being triggered up within your connection in the past. And so it felt very complicated. It felt like there would be a lot of work that needs to go into the healing in order for you to be able to come together. So this person was like confused. They had other options, is what I'm feeling, other directions they could move in. And I feel like that made you feel stabbed in the heart. Maybe they chose someone else. Maybe their defenses got in the way. So now they're realizing that they missed out on that opportunity. You know, normally this Four of Cups shows them focusing on the Three Cups and then not noticing the One Cup or the Ace of Cups that's been offered to them. There's normally a hand reaching down from the divine. So that represents like your divine love, your divine connection normally it would show that they turned their back on that, but now they realize that they were focusing on the wrong things or the wrong people because of fear, basically. But now they're focusing on this Ace of Cups, the love that you were giving them, the stuff that they took for granted in the past. They're focusing on what their heart is truly telling them. They're trying to overcome this defensiveness. They're trying to put down their walls, their masks. They're trying to let you in. They're trying to open up and be vulnerable and make that effort, because they do realize that the confusion that they had in the past led to heartbreak, and then they fear that they may have lost you for good, because there's the Tower in reverse. So there was a Tower moment, a breakdown of your connection in some kind of way. It could literally have just been a breakdown of the unhealthy dynamics that were going on in the past, but because that's in reverse, ironically, it was like they were trying to avoid heartbreak. They were trying to avoid that Tower moment, maybe by running away when it came down to the time where they needed to take a leap of faith with you. But ironically, them running away is what led to a Tower moment. So 3 of Wands in reverse. This is saying they waited too long, or they took too long to take action. And they were waiting. It's like they were just hoping that the divine would somehow sort things out without them fully taking action, or they became disheartened because they felt as though the ship wasn't coming in. Things weren't happening, because a lot of this is to do with the energetic dynamic. Sometimes we can think that it's just a matter of the other person making a choice and then coming forward and making it happen, but it's about the energetic dynamic. If we're not in a place of self-love, if we don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves, we cannot give or receive love or have a healthy relationship with another, and that's an energetic dynamic. It could be mirroring between you both as well. But 7 of Cups is also about daydreaming. I feel like this person felt safer living your relationship through daydreaming, living it out through their mind rather than actually taking action. Because when we're in a daydream, when we're in a fantasy, when we're always living for the future, then we can't fully get hurt. And again, that could be a reflection of yourself as well. If this person's emotionally unavailable, sometimes we can get caught up in our daydreaming fantasies, living for the future kind of thing. Because again, we cannot fully get hurt in that situation because we're not fully risking our heart. But I feel as though that was kind of the dynamic that was going on for some of you, and then that came crashing down, and a lot of heartache ensued on both sides. Maybe some realizations that you were both kind of staying in your comfort zones and living this out through fantasies or talking about the future rather than actually making it happen. Something like that. Something led to a Tower moment, a crumbling of, it feels like your dreams were crushed, but I feel like it was illusions. If we're living things too much through illusions and fantasies, it cannot fully ground into reality. So there was too much of holding on to the fantasy aspect on one side or both sides, but that really needed to be crumbled, that really needed to be let go of in order for things to develop in a realistic way. So they're really wanting for there to be a second chance within this connection. They're seeing things much more clearly. They're realizing how one of you or both of you took things for granted. They're wanting to make things real. They don't want to just be waiting around anymore. They want to take action. The 8 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, that's really saying that someone had to walk away, but they're hoping it's not for good. The Hanged Man in reverse. Someone's walked away, and it's led to this Hanged Man in reversed energy, which is coming out of a stalemate. Like this person may have kept you on hold, or your connection in general may have been put on hold because maybe you're both focusing too much on each other, basing your sense of self-worth on the other person, on what they were doing or what they weren't doing, fears of the other person rejecting you. You know, there was all this focus within both of you on fear of loss, fear of that tower moment, and it's almost like that tower moment had to happen to force you to face that fear so you can then move beyond that fear. So, you know, you're not fearful anymore, and therefore the love has much more chance to grow and ground and things move forward once you've both already gone through that massive fear of rejection. Some of you, or both of you, may have felt severely rejected in this connection, but it was to help you heal that rejection wound so it's no longer a block within this relationship. So they're hoping that this walking away or this temporary separation isn't for good. It's inspired actually forward movement. It's inspired this realization that, this is how I was stalling things. This was how I was blocking myself by staying still and maybe holding on too tightly to what we already have, which is actually blocking us from moving forward. Or I was holding on too tightly to the fantasy and that wasn't allowing the relationship to fully ground. Something like that. They want the Two of Cups with you and the Knight of Cups. That Two of Cups is the happy relationship, the balanced relationship, the soulmate or twin flame union. They're wanting that. They want to be together with you on all levels. They want the romance. They want the time together where you talk very in depth, philosophically. You know, they want to make love to you. They just want to live their life with you by their side. The Knight of Cups. So whatever's happened is inspiring them to come forward, express their love. Come forward maybe with an apology or an explanation, but this is the most romantic of the knights, the knight in shining armor kind of thing. Really inspiring them to fully do the work that is required to make this happen. So yeah, the biggest block between you both was you both feared that it was unrequited love, and it was getting in the way of you both making the effort and really stepping out of the comfort zone. So that tower moment had to happen in order for realizations to happen, coming out of the struggles now into a deeper union, into deeper intimacy. So let's look into these messages in the bag. What does this person want to happen between you both? Mask. So yeah. And that's over the unrequited love. So yeah, this person feared that they were going to be rejected, so they wore a mask. They may have got caught up in the fantasy in terms of, and again, it could be mirrored. You saw them in this light where you put them on a pedestal. Maybe they put you on a pedestal as well. Maybe you talked about being soulmates or twin flames, and it felt like so special. It felt extremely validating to feel that way, feel like you have something really special, really unique, really rare. And all those things are true, but maybe perhaps one or both of you kind of got too caught up in feeling extremely validated by that you both kind of wore more and more masks in order to kind of live out this fantasy version of yourselves. And you, in this dynamic, you could kind of continue to live out that fantasy version of what you both wanted to be but felt like you weren't truly. Maybe there was a subconscious fear that if you got too close it would kind of burst that bubble, or you'd see beyond each other's masks and things wouldn't feel as fantastical anymore. Things wouldn't feel as theatrical, because it would be more down to earth, more grounded. Maybe there was a fear of, maybe you had a fear of like a boring mundane relationship. You know, maybe perhaps someone had an opinion that a normal bog standard relationship was boring, so living out this connection with its highs and its lows and the fantasy, and living out our fantasy version of ourselves, and from a distance kind of thing, maybe that seemed much more exciting and safer at the same time than actually having a real thing. So I feel like that may well have been a strong element here, but it was actually blocking the connection from fully grounding, from fully moving forward. Don't want to lose what we already have. Yeah, that explains it perfectly. Like, I do feel there was like this strong fantasy element. Like, I'm not saying the connection was a fantasy at all, that it wasn't real, but it was almost like perhaps one or both of you had low self-esteem or didn't really see yourself in a good light. Maybe didn't see yourself as special or anything like that. Maybe saw yourself as mediocre or mundane. And maybe, you know, the other person, like this person saw you as this amazing divine feminine, and you saw this person as an amazing divine masculine. And, you know, you worship the ground that each other walked on, and it really made you both feel so special, so amazing. And maybe deep down you had this fear that if things became real, then they'd be able to see through the cracks and see your flaws, or see you, you know, maybe you'd feel like you'd fall off that pedestal, or you'd be rejected, and you'd lose all of that. You'd lose this person's high opinion of you. So you were both afraid on some level to lose what you'd already built up together, almost from afar. You know, putting your best foot forward sort of thing, even if it was partially a mask. Misaligned and guarded. So yeah, I feel like you were both guarded by wearing those masks. And a fear of losing those masks. Like, you both became so identified with that aspect of yourself that you were projecting to each other, the fantasy version of what you really wanted to be. But it forced you to both be guarded, you know, when we wear a mask, and that led to the misalignment. You know, you couldn't align in anything like fully truthful, fully grounded, if you were like getting caught up in the fantasy or the ungrounded aspect of this connection. Inner child wounds. So yeah, I feel like you both had inner child wounds, to do with abandonment and rejection, or not feeling special, not feeling noticed by your family, not feeling praised or anything. Maybe you felt like you were mediocre or a disappointment in your parents or your family's eyes, and then this person comes along and worships the ground that you walk on, and you did the same with them, and it was healing like that, those childhood wounds where you were really validating each other. Maybe there was a fear that if you got too close, then that would be lost on some kind of level, and that there would be a chance of real rejection. So please check out my meditation, which is I Am Loved, I Receive Love. That can really, really help you powerfully heal those inner child wounds of abandonment, and rejection that you've experienced at any point in your life, even if it's within this connection. Because, you know, often when we feel abandoned or rejected, we subconsciously create a really negative and limiting story where we blame ourselves, or we believe someone's rejected us because we're not good enough, or they don't think we're good enough, or the universe doesn't think we're worthy of receiving what we truly want. And that those thoughts and beliefs are very damaging and keep us blocked, because whatever we believe is what we manifest. So if we don't believe we're worthy, then we often attract relationships which don't fully get off the ground, and it almost reinforces that story that we tell ourselves about not being good enough. So I really help you to shift out of that cycle and really help you look back at times where you felt abandoned or rejected. I help you recognize the limiting stories that you attach to those situations and how that may be blocking you. And I help you to rewrite those stories by seeing yourself through the eyes of your soul family, which is complete unconditional love. Like, your soul family has always known that you're worthy, always knows that you always have been and always will be. So I really help you to see yourself in that light, in that way too. So that really helps you heal, shift out of the blocks, raise your vibration into deep self-love, knowing your worth, know that you deserve the best. And that will really help you to change and transform your relationships that you attract into your life. So potentially it could help you heal this connection if it is a part of your soul contract to be with this person. Or it will help you, to attract the right person who is truly destined for you due to your soul contract. When you're in a place of deep soul love, the right person who is capable and is ready and who wants a commitment, isn't afraid to express their emotions, will show up. They will be the reflection of yourself, whether it ends up being this person or someone else. It will be the person who is for your highest good. So please check that out. That's called I Am Loved, I Receive Love meditation. All the details for that are below this video in the description box. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications. That will notify you every time I release a new reading, which is about every other day at this time. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. So welcome, this is set of cards number 4, and you've chosen the blue crystal and the heart. So let's look into the cards to see what this person wants to happen between you both. Okay, so I'm immediately seeing that this person is working really hard to bring your connection together, to bring this relationship together, to get the relationship off the ground. They really want to be with you. There's the 8 of Pentacles, which is working really hard. And what are they working hard towards? This 4 of Wands, which is often the marriage card. It can be the twin flame card. It's about harmony, balance. Look at all of this abundance. Look at this harvest. And they've made like cider from these pears and these apples. So it's almost like alchemy. They're trying to transform you as an individual into this alchemy, into this oneness. So this could be a divine marriage. They're wanting stability within your connection, which is the number 4. Stability, firm foundation within, so that your connection can be built upon that. So they're working really hard on that. This person's trying to do their healing work, or they're trying to build themselves up, maybe financially or in any kind of way, which is really going to support or create that firm foundation for your relationship to be built upon. So that's really interesting. 8 is a balanced number. It's the infinity symbol. So it's like your reflections of each other. You're both one side of that infinity symbol. And then there's 4, and it's like 2, 2. What am I saying? 11, 11. The 2 ones that side, the 2 ones that side. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So, and it also has past life relationship. You've known each other from before. So there may have been some feelings of instability or insecurities within yourselves, because a lot of wounds, a lot of fears have been triggered up within this connection to do with feeling unsafe in the past. They're wanting to come to a place of safety where they feel safe to be open and vulnerable, and where you feel safe to be open and vulnerable. So it's a past life relationship. So there could be like wounds or karma that needs healing and balancing from those past relationships that you've had together. So that could be highly related to the triggering, or there could be wounds of rejection or abandonment from past lives that are bleeding through into this life. But this person, I really see they're really working hard to try and manifest this relationship with you. Again, we have this Eight of Pentacles, which is working hard. We have the High Priest, which is trying to manifest this connection. This person, they want to ground this spiritual aspect of your connection. So they feel that you have this really intense, deep spiritual bond, telepathic bond, that you're connected very deeply in other dimensions, because we are multi-dimensional. We exist on multiple dimensions at the same time. So your souls are working together in the higher realms. And they really feel that. They really feel this communication, like they feel how you're feeling. They often know what you're thinking and vice versa. And they're really wanting to ground that on all levels in the 3D, you know. Knight of Cups. This is the most romantic of all the knights. It's like the knight in shining armor. They're wanting to come forward with the confidence to take off the mask, because you know often the knight is shown in like the suit of armor. They want to take off the armor, they want to take off the visor, the mask, be open and vulnerable with you, you know, have that confidence to do that, because the Knight of Cups is a very confident person when it comes to being romantic, expressing romantic feelings and emotions. So I feel this person is listening to the intuition or listening to the guidance from soul family or the universe, because they feel so much more connected to the divine since meeting you. So they're listening to that advice. They're listening on how to move forward, what to do, what to heal, how to be in the right vibration so that you align and come back together. There's the Six of Swords. So this is the card which is all about healing, moving away from the choppy waters into the brighter future, or moving away from adversity into harmony with you. You know, they want to cross that river. They want to go through the difficulties in order to be able to be with you. So they know that they have a lot of healing to do. Excuse me. Three of Pentacles. This is saying they want to work together with you, with the divine. Again, this is another card about grounding the divine connection into the 3D. Normally this shows them working together to create a cathedral. So a cathedral is a spiritual place where, you know, we can really come together in the 3D and bring down this higher energy of love from the universe. So they're wanting to build that, they're wanting to ground that. I feel like they are, and you are building this connection together. Even if you are separated at this time, you're both healing within, so that the connection heals on the outside as well. You're having a healthy, or you're creating a healthy relationship within yourselves, so you can have a healthy relationship with each other. So in the past, they felt left out in the cold, or they made you feel left out in the cold. You know, this person may have felt like an outsider throughout their whole life, like, because I feel like they're a light worker, just like you are. They're an empathic, divine person. They're highly sensitive, so they felt as though they didn't fit in their life. Most likely when they were younger, they thought that they were weird, or they blamed themselves for not fitting in, and it really ate away at their self-esteem. And so I feel that is what led them to wear masks and try and fit in with people and hide their truth. And then that just became their comfort zone. That became their self-protection, their pattern, like throughout their life. And so to the point where they didn't even consciously realize that they were doing that. And then meeting you, it's like this catalyst, this lightning tower moment that's, you know, breaking down that illusion that they created around themselves so that they can embrace their true self again. That is a very difficult and very fearful thing to go through. Very confusing time. So I feel like that is what really led to any separation, or them not coming forward, or you feeling rejected. You know, it's all to do with the fears and the ego death, and, you know, not seeing things clearly in the past, but then as time goes by, seeing things for what they truly are. So this person has had a lot of epiphanies. They don't want to make you feel left out in the cold. They don't want to keep themselves locked out in the cold. You know, they want that connection. They want that union. They want harmony and peace. That temperance. They want harmony within themselves, harmony within your connection. The Six of Pentacles is also about harmony as well. It's about an equal balance of give and take. So you may have been very generous with them in the past, but they felt that they couldn't be, they couldn't take that risk to be that vulnerable in the past with you. But now they're wanting to shower you with their generosity, with their time, their affection, their attention, with their love, you know. They want to give back to you everything that you've given to them in the past. And it's in the form of communication, being their true self. The King of Swords, he's got these letters here. It's like this person wants to communicate who they really are, how they really feel. I feel like they've cut away a lot of things that were blocking them in the past, and they're ready to move forward now. They feel this intense sexual desire and sexual chemistry and connection with you. They're really wanting that. They're really wanting to make love. They're really wanting to be with you. Have that vulnerability to be able to have that sacred sex with you. And forgiveness. So they're trying to forgive themselves, you know, they're trying to feel worthy and good enough. They're hoping that you can forgive them. They may be forgiving you for things as well, you know. There's this deep sense of forgiveness that is happening. But, you know, they're really wanting forgiveness from you. So let's look into these messages. What do they want to happen between you? There's 3 here. Denial. And interestingly, that is over the card. It is safe for you to love. So I feel like in the past they didn't feel like it was safe. So they were trying to deny their feelings to you and even to themselves because of a big fear of rejection. Like it didn't feel safe. Your connection has been a catalyst to a major spiritual awakening, which means the death of the ego. The ego is who we believe we truly are before we have our awakening. And so we're very identified with that. And so we can feel as though we're losing ourselves. We're losing our identity. We're losing our life as we know it. And so I feel that was a massive contributor to why this person was hesitant to really embrace your connection as well, because it's so much more than just how they felt about you, you know. It's about this major spiritual awakening and the tower moment for the ego and the false identity, the conditioning. And so for a long time I feel like this person was in denial because it was the ego's way of trying to protect its own identity and stop itself from crumbling. But you know, the soul identity is the divine, the eternal part of ourselves, so it's infinitely stronger than this incarnation which the ego is made up from. So, you know, the soul will always transform and release the ego, you know, because it's that much more powerful than the ego. Lost without you. Scared of commitment. So yeah, they feel lost without you. So they may have been back and forth with you, or hot and cold, like they feel so scared to be without you. Because if you're twin flames, they feel like you are a part of them, you are a part of their soul, and when they're not with you, it feels like they've lost a part of their soul. But then at the same time, they're so scared of coming towards you and being committed because of that ego death that was taking place. Like they didn't consciously realize what was going on. It was like subconsciously, and the ego has all that fear about taking a back seat to make room or make way for the soul. And so that's why they were scared of that commitment with you, scared of getting close to you, because it would mean a lot of death would have to happen, a lot of endings, a lot of letting go, a lot of letting go of comfort zones and reality as they once knew it, in order to make way for the true truth, if that makes sense. So yeah, for twin flames to be together, they have to go through a lot of death, and that is extremely scary for the subconscious mind. You know, we're told to avoid death at all costs. You know, it's the death of the ego. Spying, ego high, okay? Yeah, so it's interesting because I've been talking a lot about the ego. I feel as though you'd put this person on a pedestal. You see the beauty in this person, you see how amazing they are, you feel like this person is heaven on earth because you know them from the higher dimensions. And so I feel like their ego got wrapped up in you validating them in such a profound way, that yeah, their ego got involved, and they felt you made them feel like $1 million, and you know, it was that outside validation they got attached to, whereas they really needed to find that inner validation, that self-love, that self-approval, that self-worth. So they may have had fears about getting too close to you, because then you'd see the real them, and maybe, you know, you'd see their flaws and you wouldn't put them on a pedestal anymore. And they were afraid of that. So, and there's spying here as well. So this person's been spying on you, most likely on social media or any way that resonates. They've been trying to find out what's going on with you, what's going on in your life. I feel like they're afraid of you moving on without them. Yeah, they're really desiring this union with you, very, very much so. So please check out my meditation, which is I am loved, I receive love. In that meditation, I really deeply help you heal any abandonment or rejection wounds, because often we subconsciously manifest these kind of dynamics where the person's emotionally unavailable, and it's because of deep down not feeling good enough, or we may have experienced abandonment and rejection in our past with other relationships or within our family or both. And you know, if things don't work out, if we feel abandoned and rejected, often we subconsciously create a very limiting and very damaging story surrounding those experiences. We believe that someone's rejected us because we're not good enough, or we think they think we're not good enough, or we believe the universe deems us as unworthy. And those are very damaging beliefs, because whatever we believe is what we manifest. And so if we have these beliefs that we don't deserve love, or everyone always runs away from us, or we always are abandoned or cheated on or betrayed or something like that, then we can subconsciously attract the same kind of situations or the same kind of people over and over and over again. So in the I am loved, I receive love meditation, I really help you to look back at those past painful experiences. I really help you to understand the painful, damaging stories that you may have attached to those experiences. And I help you to see things through a true light. I help you to see that it was never a real rejection. It was just part of a soul contract to help you have those wounds that are stuck in your subconscious triggered up into your conscious awareness, so you can heal those wounds and release those wounds, and therefore raise your vibration. Therefore know that you're good enough, know that you're always lovable, always knowing that you deserve the best when it comes to relationships, because the divine always knows that you're good enough. They just want you to know that. And I really help you to see yourself through your soul family's eyes, which is complete unconditional love. I help you to rewrite those stories so you realize it was just a soul contract, a lesson in learning about your self-worth, in order for you to change your belief, change your vibration, and be able to attract the love that you truly deserve. So that can potentially help you to heal this connection if you are destined to be with this person due to your soul contract. But if not, if you're destined and have a soul contract to be with another soulmate, the person who is for your highest good, then it can potentially help you to become the right vibration in order to manifest and attract that relationship into your life. So that is called I Am Loved, I Receive Love, and all the details for that are below this video in the description box, so please check that out. And please also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye.